Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It comes in 135 scale and it actually copies 35 scale Laffly F-type V15t, so it's a German version of the French vehicle. As you can see, it comes in this gray color, and this plastic might be familiar to you because it came some time ago, but now we have it in a German version, and kit number is 35573. We have a commercial sample here, so it means that's the final version with these big wheels, by the way, and we are going to check it together in this video. So first of all, I have to note that box size stayed absolutely the same, so here is comparison with my hand. Box art looks quite nice. Here on the side you'll find some short history note and also information about the actual kit. So there are 211 parts which should assemble into a model with the 128mm length, so it's not a huge vehicle even though it comes in a popular 135 scale. And here on the opposite side you can see 3 marking options for this vehicle, but I hope there will be more included, even though 3 marking options also does not sound bad in my opinion. So let's cut through this sticker. It should be quite a quick procedure, just give me a second and we will be done. And as I was saying in previous video reviews of ICM kits, they started applying these stickers on their boxes, so if these stick seals are broken, it means somebody was opening the kit before you, and it would be a wise idea to check all the parts if you can, or maybe to choose a different boxing, because who knows, maybe something is damaged or anything else might happen to the plastic parts. So as you can see, the seals are cut through. The box structure is typical for ICM, so we have this flexible top section, and then there is a sturdy white cardboard box which actually protects all the contents. And if I open it, you can see that all parts are packed into the same plastic bag, so it's a resealable plastic bag and it should be quick to open. So just give me a second and we will start. Okay. So what do we have here? First of all, we have a small plastic bag with a clear sprue, so I'm going to open it as well. And we will start with it. So as you can guess, we have all the clear parts here, which will be needed for this tiny off-roader. And there are not that many of them, as you can see, 4. So we have 2 glasses for the windscreen, and we also have lenses for the headlamps. But molding quality seems to be fine, and I'm not sure if masks template is included into this kit, but molding quality is good. So if masks template is not included, obviously you have to cut your masks with your own hands. Next, we continue with the first gray plastic sprue. This one is an A sprue, so here we have, let's zoom out first, and here we have car body parts or panels. As you can see, they're separated into side panels, lower floor panel, and also here we have a top coverage which will be covering the rear section. Note that windscreen frame is molded separately with screen wipers, so maybe we can zoom in so that you can see all these features in a bit more closed up view, but molding quality seems to be fine. So I also like external features here, and attachment points are thin enough in order to carefully separate these parts without damaging them. Note also here on the floor panel we have all the necessary guiding elements, and let's flip it over. The same applies, as you can see, for the opposite side here, for example, and here. So it's just a matter of careful combining all these parts together. Of course, it might be a good idea to do dry fitment before gluing everything into the place, because later you won't have any funny time trying to get the right alignment or fix it somehow. Next we continue with the sprue C. So here you can see we have mix of parts. We have bonnet panels as well as the suspension parts and some of the drivetrain parts. So for example, if I zoom here, you can notice the one-piece steering wheel and a lot of thin and small parts which are obviously a bit tricky to handle with bare fingers, so that's why it might be a good idea to get yourself sharp tweezers so that you can get easily all these parts into the right spot and you won't have to waste your time. And the bonnet panels actually hint that it might be possible to open them, but you have to cut them, because as far as you can see here we have a thin line inside, so maybe you can cut through it and you have it open, even though manufacturer does not suggest such assembly way, so you will have to do it on your own risk. Next, we continue with a pair of the sprues. So here you can see we have the wheels and also the interior parts such as seats. These sprues are E-sprues, so here I will have to zoom in. And you can see the seat parts which are molded together with the frames. Be careful with these thin parts because it's easy to break them and then it will be really tricky to fix them. Front wheels, this interesting, let's say, design of the vehicle is copied in a, I would say, not the less interesting way, because we have the front wheels molded out of plastic, but we have main wheels molded out of plastic wheel rims and vinyl tires. So you have to be careful while working around. And if I flip it over, here inside you can see some guiding elements which will help you to align all this stuff together, so there is nothing to be worried about. But still, I would search for a resin replacement for the main wheels, because vinyl tires, as you know, not exactly my favorite. So for the vinyl tires, I think there is not even a point to unpack them, because these are typical vinyl parts. As you can see, they're supplied in 4 pieces as far as you can see. So it's just a matter of combining them with plastic wheel rims. The only benefit which I can see is that you can paint the plastic wheel rims separately and then you can just get them onto the rubber tires or vinyl tires. And the final one is the biggest sprue B. So here we have again mix of parts, because we have a one-piece main chassis and subframe, let's say, and we have engine parts, gearbox, suspension parts, wheel fenders, folded roof here, some parts for the interior. Everything is just placed here in a random order, I would say, so there is not that much of logic, because, for example, you can see here the some of the suspension parts, as well as the Pioneer tools, engine parts, and as usual ICM included here quite a lot of details. It is quite impressive for a 1/35 scale in this size, so it might be worth the idea to add some wiring maybe on the engine or inside underneath the vehicle, but of course it's better to use some reference material for this. Here you can see the one-piece subframe, and this is actually a great engineering because you get the right fitment out of the box. You do not have to be worried about combining them somehow in the wrong way. You just cut out this part, place everything on top of it, and you're good to go. Here we continue with more of the parts for the drivetrain. Here you can see also some of the suspension arms. And this is the folded roof which I was talking about. It's quite an interesting molding quality because, as you can see, it's also nicely molded from the side. If camera will focus on it, and it doesn't want to focus, maybe like this. Yeah, now you should be able to see it from the side. So it is ready to be used straight away, unlike, for example, previous releases from ICM where you had to assemble the folded roof out of several parts and then try to get somehow the smooth fitment between them. Next, we continue also with a tiny decal sheet. So here we have all necessary symbols for several marking options. I still don't know how many of them are in total, but as you can see, printing quality is really nice. We have several license plates, so it's just a matter of applying all these decals on your car. And now for the assembly manual. So it comes in a typical ICM printing style. So it's a large cover printed brochure with a short history note, technical specifications, and also colors chart and some safety advices below. Here we continue with the parts map. Quite interesting that even in this release, all parts will be used. So pay attention and try not to lose anything. Note that you have to modify the subframe for one of the marking options. This is quite an interesting thing because you basically just cut out this section and you use the modified version. But here, note that on the next pictures we have it preserved, so it's something not to confuse you. Pay attention to which marking you will be trying to replicate. As you can see, the overall sequence is quite, I would say, standard. So you assemble the suspension around this subframe, you assemble also some drivetrain parts, you build the front wheels, then you assemble the engine. As you can see, a lot of things are actually replicated on the power plant, so that's why I was saying that it is a good idea to add some wiring, because especially if you plan to open the bonnet, because here, as you can see, manufacturer does not show that you can open the bonnet, but it would be a shame to hide such power plant underneath the bonnet panels. Next, we continue with assembly of the car body parts together. So as you can see, again, it's a lot of panels being combined together. Here, by the way, you can see the steering wheel column being installed in place. Next, we continue with decals for the instrument panel and also some parts for the frontal section of the interior. I can see the klaxon here, also the front grille or radiator grille. Here, by the way, you can see the engine panel, so there is no open option suggested by the manufacturer, but still we get the cut lines here, which is quite interesting touch. Next, wheel fenders going into place. We also install the brake drums. We assemble the wheel rims and combine them together with the vinyl tires. Pioneer tools going onto the rear section. And here we install the headlamps on the bonnet, obviously. And note that glasses are combined together with the frame. So basically we do not need the masks template because you can paint the subframe separate and then just insert the glasses inside. Next, the final step involves the number plate panels, and one of them will be dependent on your, let's say, reference materials. Here you can see first two marking options, so this one comes from 1941, this one is from 1943, and another one from the same year from France. So, 3 marking options in total, but as I said, this is not bad, especially considering that some manufacturers still offering even fewer markings in their 1/35 scale releases. So, this kit should be already available and you can get it in Modelimex webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.